Okay, so now we are talking about adding in the hundreds place. So now we're adding one digit, 5, times a number that has a hundreds place in it. So that would mean not only would we have to have our ones little blocks, we'd have to have our 10 rods, and we'd have to have our hundreds flats. All right, so let's again imagine this as we're actually building with our base 10 blocks. So we're going to build 5 groups of the number 323. 5 groups of 323. So with the hundreds, all right, I'm going to draw them as hundreds blocks. So there's my 300s to show that that would look like on top. My 2 10s, which is 20, right? And then I'm going to do my ones. Okay, so that's 323. I'm going to build 5 of those. Okay, so I'm going to do those. 1, 2, 3. 300s. 20, 3 ones, 300s, 20, 3 ones, 300s, 20, 3 ones, finally 300s, 2 10s, and 3 ones. Okay, so again, I can count by 5s over here, right? So I can do 5, 10, 15. 15, and then I'm just going to make it hundreds, right? Because it's 15, and then that's the hundreds. Nothing in the tens place, nothing in the ones place. Okay, I'm going to count up my tens. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. Okay, so here's my 100 that I made for my 10 sticks. So I actually made another 100 flat. And then I'm going to count by my 5s by 3 groups of 5. 5, 10, 15. 15. Okay, so then I would add all those blocks together. So I'd add my 1,500, my 100 from my 10 blocks, and my 15 here. And when I have 5, kind of small here, 1, 6, and 1. So it ended up being 1,615. So 5 times 323 is 1,615. And we would just do that by collecting all our blocks. So we could build a whole, 1,000 cube and so on and so forth. All right, oops, I just made a bunch of dots on this, but hopefully you guys will be able to see it. So here I have 5 times 132. Now this time I'm building an array just to multiply my hundreds. I'm building an array just to multiply to my tens, and I'm building an array just to multiply my ones. And then I'm going to put them all together. So I'm going to do 5 times 100. This is going to be my hundreds, like a place value mat. 3 tens, which is 30, and 2 ones, right? So I'm going to take them one at a time. Okay, so 5 times 100. So I'm going to draw 5 100s. 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, I know that that's going to equal 500. All right, that's pretty easy. Okay, so now I'm going to do 5 30s, right? So 10, 20, 30. So here's my 5 30s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I can count them up, right? So this is, I know it's 15, right? Because we got 5, 10, 15. And then I can just add in on the 0, or I can do 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. And then I can do 110, 120, 30, 40, 50. So I can just make this 150, right? Because it's 15 and you just put a 0 in because you're working with tens, so nothing in the ones place. And then our ones, we have 1, 2, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 5, 10. So of course, yes, 2 5s is 10. So those are our do's. Let's make sure this matches up down here. 5 times 1 is 5, and because it's 100, I'll bring down 2 zeros, right? 5 times 3 is 15, and I'm going to bring down 1 0, then 5 times 2 is 10. No, I don't have to bring down any zeros, but of course 10 already has a 0 in it. Now I'm going to add them up, so yes, right, just like we saw here, it's a 500, just like we see here, right? That 5 30s is 150, and just like we see here, that 5 2s is 10. or 2 5s. So now we're going to add them all up. We got 500 plus 150 plus 10. And the answer would be 0, 6, 6. 660. So 5 times 5 groups of 132 equals 660. All right, we have one more worksheet on. Let's make sure I didn't make it too messy. Oh, we'll find out. Okay, so this time we're just going to do the box method. 5 times 214. So over above this, I'm going to break up this number. 200s. Right, 5 times 200. I'm going to do 5 times 14. That's 110. 5 times 10. And then 5 times 4. 4. Easy peasy. 5 times 2. 10. Bring down my 2 zeros. 5 times 1 is 5. Bring down my 0. 5 times 4 is 20. No 0 to bring down. Now, I'm just like my blocks. I would add it all up. So I have my 1,000 plus my 50 plus my 20. No 1s over here. Got 7 groups of 10. No hundreds and 1,000. So 1,070. One more thing I want to show real quick, because I think a lot of people get confused on this, is what if I have a number like 5 times 406? What do I do if I have that 0 there? What you got to remember is we're doing 5 times, okay, that's 400. No 10s, right? So we don't have any 10s here, okay? And then 6. So we do 5 times 4, which is 20, and we bring down our 2 0. 5 times 0, which is 0. It's nothing. And 5 times 6, which is 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, which is 30. And you don't have to bring down 0. So now, again, we'll just add up. Basically, the 0 will stay there. So we have 2,000. And we're going to add in 30, right? 0, 3, no hundreds, and 2. 2,030. So keep that in mind that if there's a 0 in a spot, there's just a 0 in that spot, and you don't have to worry about it, okay? So like just as if you would get blocks, you would get no 10 blocks, right? You just worry about your hundreds blocks, and you just worry about, you get no 10 rods, and you just worry about your 1s, which would add up to 10 rods, but that's not what you would do at the time. All right, I hope that explains now that we're adding in the hundreds place as we multiply.